Well, the markets have staged a remarkable comeback after a wobbly start this Monday morning. In fact, the Sensex was down somewhere around 1,000 points at one point, but strength in the oil and gas as well as metals pack have led the index to claw back most of its losses and edge back into the positive zone. In fact, the stocks did start on a weak footing on the back of a 5% surge in oil prices amid the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Remember, Russia has kept its nuclear forces on alert following the sanctions that have been slapped on Moscow by the Western nations. Moving on, the stock rebound does come ahead of the India GDP growth rate that will be unveiled later today. The Indian economy is expected to have grown somewhere around the 6% mark in the third quarter. It's the 1st of March tomorrow, and automakers will be reporting their monthly sales figures. And most of them are likely to clock in tepid growth in the wake of weak rural demand, supply side issues, as well as rising oil prices. Internationally, the Ukraine-Russia conflict and oil price movement will be in focus, but most importantly, investors will be watching out for Fed Chairperson Jerome Powell's testimony to the US Congress on the second and third week of March. Well, these will be his last public comments ahead of the US Federal Reserve meeting later this month to decide on interest rate hikes amid decades high inflation. In fact, Powell may also highlight any changes to the Fed's playbook when it comes to interest rates in the wake of Russia-Ukraine conflict. So all in all, it promises to be an action-packed week, even though it's a truncated one for the Indian markets. It still is expected to be highly volatile as investors watch out for all the developments on the Russia versus Ukraine conflict front, as well as monitor the movement in oil prices.